Well, I'm here today. I'm attempting to get my computer to load, so while it's doing its thing, and it's pouring rain outside, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. I thought I'd do my craft roulette card. So our parameters are a square card, dairy aisle, leaves, and hexagon. And I reckon cheese is orange, and we can get away with almost any color of packaging. So I'm calling it fair, especially if you consider that the craft card itself, a lot of the, my brain just went completely blank. Like some of the brands of eggs and whatnot are in craft packaging. So I'm going to call that. So I cut this 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 just so it'll fit in our little A2 envelopes. And then if you don't like sending a square card, you can then stick this on the front of like a book fold to send it to somebody you love. And then I just pulled out the hexagon that was the closest to 4 by 4 that I have in my group. I considered smaller and maybe doing layers or whatever, but I'm going to do this. Actually, no. I'm going to do this in a color, and then I'm going to go down like one to do whatever I'm going to put in the middle. So I'm going to go cut those, and I'll be back. All right. Hopefully, we're in screen and doing our thing. I changed courses, and I'm just going to do my sentiment there. And then I cut out some leaves, and these leaves are intricate leaves dies from Stampin' Up. They're old. I don't know how old because I bought them secondhand. I have plenty of new Stampin' Up stuff. I'm one of those crazy people that I'm a hobby demo so that I don't have to pay full price for my stuff because I have a problem. But I am going to leave that pretty plain, but I have some of the little stuff. This little tiny stamp set here is actually from, I got it in the mail yesterday, a paper pumpkin kit from this month, and it comes with the Cajun Craze spot, which we may have to try to use on this. Somewhere or is the design for the stamp in here. I will try to find a picture of it and send it to you, but it has, let's see what it say. Thinking of you, wishing you happiest of days, cute pumpkins, acorns, leaves. There's 2 more leaves down here. Thankful and warm wishes, and thankful was what I chose because I could just squeeze it onto that. So I may ink around the edge of that, and I'm just going to throw some leaves on there, and what I'm going to do is stamp off a couple times. That way they're just kind of background instead of competing with the thing. I also pulled out an old color called Mint Macaron because I don't get rid of anything. And I feel like matches perfectly this paper, which came as part of a kit that I got on clearance. So I guess hang tight while I do a little bit of stamping. And I think these are, well, I guess I'm stamping off so I don't have to pretend I know what. Oh, they're little birds. Do I want little birds across the top of my thankful? Geese or something? No, I don't. I don't like it. I have a chamois floating around here someplace, but I got a new computer, and I have been spending the last like 45 minutes attempting to get it to set up, and now it's saying some stuff, but it's been basically saying, hold your horses for the last however long. I could lose my brain in 2 seconds. So do not know what I just did with that statement. Did I put it back in the, yes. Look at me putting stuff away. So I do attempt to put my stamps back where I found them from, because if not, I end up finding them stuck to my shoe and being like, what did that come from? I do have an app on my phone that keeps track of my stamps. So like when I get the cover art for this, I'll take pictures and I will say where it's stored and what's in it and all of the sentiments, so that if I need a thankful sentiment, I know that this exists and what it's called and where I hid it for myself. Which isn't to say everybody should do that. It's to say I have issues and I know it. So it's owning my ADHD, I guess. So I'm going to use the smallest stamp block I think I own for this. And I'll do a couple of little brown leafies. That was very vague. And of course, since it's storming, if you hear that woofing in the background, that would be Adler, who spent a great deal of his life at the shelter. And I don't know if he ended in the shelter because of his anxiety, or if his anxiety is from living in the shelter for, it was over a year, I believe, before the rescue that I foster for pulled him. And I foster failed him because he is at best a difficult guy, but also a magnificent dog who couldn't love us anymore if, you know, it is what it is. So I have a problem. I have a pit bull addiction in the same way I have a stamping problem. But everybody here is nice and sweet. Well, the dogs, the humans are iffy. So he has had his medicine for his anxiety. He has had some Benadryl to, you know, kick it up a notch. And hopefully he will be sleeping shortly and not woofing. So I feel very bad for him because he didn't ask to be afraid of storms, and he did not ask to be in a shelter for a long time. So it is what it is. We do our best, right? All right. Because I'm doing this light, I'm going to do it over top of the sentiment too, just because it doesn't, I don't know, it just gives it some color. And this color is pecan pie. Again, it's Stampin' Up. There is never going to be a moment I'm going to tell you that you have to have a specific brand of something. I lucked into a bunch of secondhand Stampin' Up stuff, which got me started, and I do really, really like it. But I'm not a purist, and I'm not, I have also Distress Oxides and Distress Inks and some, well, over the next however long you watch me, you'll find out. I have it all. Well, not all. My craft room isn't big enough for that, but as much as I can squeeze in here. I did some die cuts. I need to poke out the insides on the ones I did in craft cardstock. And then I did some in white. And what I'm going to do real quick, and I'm not going to tape all of it. I'll tape maybe some of it, but some ink smushing on these with the colors here that I like, and see what it comes up looking like. And I figure only a few of them have to make it and look not perfect, look good in order for us to call it a day. So I'm going to get out an acrylic block and put some ink on acrylic box, and here is my homemade smusher of much beauty. A little of the ink smushing. I have smushed these in the Cajun Craze. They're still a little damp, so I'm trying to be ginger with them. I'm going to probably darken this up. I might even, if I'm feeling funky, might add some veins or whatever with a paintbrush, but probably not, because when I put them on here and stuff layers up, it's going to be less important. Also, I'm going to come in with some of the brown for the tips. If I could go back again, I would probably do a lighter color first and then do the tips with this orange. I don't know. This is the fun of art, is it's going to look how it looks and I'm going to love it. And then also I put it on this paper because then all of this is collage fodder for later. And then I was not absorbing it all. So I grabbed a scrap out of one of my many scrap piles and I just start splattering it on there. And so at some point when I need a strip of something, in the background, I'll have this, it'll be cool. And if it's not cool, it was already a scrap. So here is some of the mint macaron, and it is already watered down. It is it's because it's the full-size stamp pad. I really, really like these little Stampin' Spots. I know they're cheap, but you know, you buy them and then you buy a reinker and you can keep reinking them. And that's true for the stuff for any other brand, because I can write on there. It is inconvenient if you do big stamps. But it is fantastic for this kind of thing. So here it is on my little thing, and I'm very professional when I do this, and I just fling it at it. And yeah, that did not put as much green on there as I would like, so that is that situation where it didn't get enough on there. And I'm gonna do this, you can't see me, but I just rubbed some of that on my pant leg. Oof, maybe that's enough now. Again, and I bought this as part of somebody was getting rid of their whole craft room. So it's an old color and it's dry, and I do not have a reinker. So this is what it is. When it's gone, it's gone. And I guess there's a chance I could find it out there in the universe someplace, but I doubt it. So, all right, this is where I start to go, you know what, this is a lot like work. So I'm going to put this over here, and I'm going to just do this. And if you're one of those don't like to touch inky stuff people, I am not coming to your house and making you touch inky. And but you will always notice I have, between being in the garden and having horses and dogs and all of those fun things, I have very little aversion to, it's not necessarily I want to get dirty, it's just how it is. Dirt is a portion of my universe. So I'm going to soak up whatever green's left on this, and then I will get out the pumpkin pie color and do that, because I really feel like this mint macaron is on its last leg. And then again, this is how I clean off my block. And then I can clean it off on my actual cleaner thing over here. And I will do some more of I will do the other orange on here, and the tips of that, and maybe some of the brown, and I'll be back. I'm going to pretend you guys can hear me and ask what you think I should put on there, but you can't hear me. And let's see. We've done leaves. Let's just do the acorns, because it's different, and I like to use my stuff if I can, because the amount of things I've bought and then never used, because we can't use it all if we keep buying it. So let's use our stashes. Let's, buy some fun stuff, but try to be judicious, I guess. I say that, and then I probably will order something again this week, because I see something and go, oh, I need that. But I do have a haul I will share later this week. Hopefully I'll be able to do a video tomorrow when I'm not doing work around the farm, because I have some envelope things I want to make. And then we have in Bloomington, Indiana, I found out that we have a reuse store, an art reuse store, and right now my brain won't tell me what it's called. I'll let you know when my brain thinks of it. When we do it, I'll share with you what it's called. But I went in there and I bought some paper, and they sell it by the ounce. I bought a boatload of stuff, and one of the things was ephemera pack for $4, and it was a Christmas one. And I'll share the haul with you, but I will say in there was a die set from Concord and Ninth. I had no way of knowing first of all, I didn't see that it was in there. I just grabbed it because there were some cute Santas. And then that was in there. It is still at Simon Says Stamps, and it sells for $25. So if you have a creative use place in your neighborhood, use it. If you want to shop on Marketplace, shop on Marketplace. Have fun with your craft, but you don't necessarily have to break the bank. But I'm going to call that done unless when I dig through my gems, I find something that I think it needs. Not exciting, not huge, but cute, handmade, made with love. So hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully if you didn't watch Craft Roulette, you're gonna go watch the replay. Try your hand at try your hand at a card. It's fun. It doesn't matter what your skill level is. Go do it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I think I'm going to cut it out for big leaves for other stuff, some more background stuff. And then the green wasn't showing up so great, the mint macaron color. So I did that. I added some rusty hinge. Then on these solid leaves, I crumpled them up, and I believe I used the pecan pie on an ink dauber to put those down. So I'm going to glue these in some order. I'm not going to put them all on. It's a lot. And then put this guy on and maybe find a ribbon that I like. So I'll do that. You guys can peek over my shoulder, and I will attempt to continue to speak to you because I will forget that I'm talking to people. So on these guys, like I said, I crunched them a bit. So when I glue them on, I'm going to glue down the middle, and that way the crunchy edges still can stick up a little bit. Doesn't have to, but it can. And I think by the way, I think I'm wearing more ink than the die cuts are, which is, I guess, fine because it just proves that I'm, working. And I really, really love this glue press, not only because it saves my hand, but I can put such tiny amounts there. Of course, I got a big glob on my finger. And the other trick that I use a lot is I put stuff on, and if it doesn't seem like it's sticking, it's probably got enough glue. So I just drop my block on there, and then I'm not stuck to the paper when I'm done. So I'm going to set this here and figure out where I want things poking out. Do I want it down this way? That looks pretty good. So I'll have a little guy sticking out here and another little, let me use this this guy got some of the rusty hinge on him, so he's got the oxide looking thing going on. And I'm going to squish him and abuse him, and it's going to seem awful, but he will be all the better for it. If art wasn't, a thing where it goes how it goes, sometimes I'd probably be tempted to recut some stuff and do some, get some more colors in here. But I really like just letting things kind of flow how they flow. And I'm a mom and a business owner, and sometimes I have to accept the imperfection of it all. So I'm going to stick this down, and again, I try not to get all of the bits sticking down because it's in nature. It would not have that going on. It wouldn't have perfection, so it would be sticking up on the edges. I'm trying to decide if we need a guy there, but I don't know. Ribbon, no ribbon. You guys aren't live, so I can't really ask you. I'm going to go no ribbon, but I am going to ink the edge of this because I feel like it needs to pop off there a little bit. Put my lid on my glue because I forget, and then I will regret it later. Let's see. We're going to play which color is the most convenient before we do this. And then this is me being brave. I just do this along the edges. You can take on something like this that's like that, and you don't want to tear up your pad if it doesn't have this is actually felt pad, so it won't tear it up. But if you have a foam pad, if you do this, it keeps from tearing it up. If you cut a little of the edge, you're not going to notice that when you stamp your regular stamps, but I like that little bit of edge around there, making it pop up off the page. And I actually think I'm going to go cattywampus with this because I like it. And I am going to find some sort of dimensionals because I bought my computer today and have it on my desk. I have moved everything and don't know where anything is. So these are just, I don't know, these might be Dollar Tree or whatever. I use what I have. I also a lot of times use scrap paper. Hopefully I'll be able to do a video tomorrow when I'm not doing work around the farm, because I have some envelope things I want to make. And then I found we have in Bloomington, Indiana, I found out that we have a like a reuse store, an art reuse store. And right now my brain won't tell me what it's called. Like, I'll let you know when my brain thinks of it. When we do it, I'll share with you what it's called. But I went in there and I bought some paper, and they sell it by the ounce. I bought a boatload of stuff, and one of the things was ephemera pack for $4, and it was a Christmas one. And I'll share the haul with you, but I will say in there was a die set from Concord and Ninth. I had no way of knowing. First of all, I didn't see that it was in there. I just grabbed it because there were some cute Santas. And then that was in there. It is still at Simon Says Stamps, and it sells for $25. So if you have a creative use place in your neighborhood, use it. If you want to shop on Marketplace, shop on Marketplace. Have fun with your craft, but you don't necessarily have to break the bank. But I'm going to call that done, unless when I dig through my gems, I find something that I think it needs. Not exciting, not huge. There's the finished card, I guess. I found some jimmies I like, some low profile dots. Just kind of a gold color. I think I will send this to my grandma, and she is 101.5, and so I'll send that off to her for Thanksgiving. Have a great night, guys. Bye.